Hello, everybody. I'm very happy to have a seasoned expert with us. His field is marketing and technology, and he's an entrepreneur and a founder of a company. Now, normally we tend to think of startups as 20-year-olds running around, but fortunately, we have a startup founder who is experienced and has actually done it. So I'm very happy. Today we have with us Mr. Shivaraman Swaminathan. He says, please call me Swami. I'll call him Swamiji. Swamiji, please start. Over to you.
Thanks, Subodh, for inviting me, and I really love the concept and what you prepped me for even before we started this conversation. So lovely talking to you. Basically, I will start off with my early life as a journey where I started and what has taken me to where I am today. I think that'll be an interesting way of really mapping how it all happened. Was it planned? Was it out of sheer right timing? Was it, what does it take to reach even little things that I've done or achieved? So I thought that'll be a good way to really build this conversation. So I'm from Chennai, typically a conservative South Indian family, as you all may know. I think most Indians listening to this will know that that's really how uh, we were in the early days. And my interesting background, though I'm in marketing and technology, I come from a family where my father is a Indian classical musician.
Oh,
So he's one of the legends of Indian classical music. So he plays the percussion instrument called mridangam. He's a Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, and Padma Vibhushan. Okay,
wow. Can we have
and
his name?
his name is Umayalpuram Shivaraman.
Okay.
And so I grew up in a household full of music, and literally the household was about mastering the craft, which is really what I was taught right at an early stage, right? So, lived in a joint family where my grandfather was alive for till his 90s, and I people keep asking me, where do you get your patience? I say, living in my joint family where I did have a point of view, but I had to find a way to influence and get things done, right? So,
Hmm,
therefore, that's really how I grew up as in a household where I think perfection, mastering the craft, and I would say discipline and uh, getting to put enough practice to anything that you do is really what I learned when I was a child. I didn't realize these were important when I was a child, to be honest.
yeah.
Okay. But clearly, that's what I saw of my household. And that's really how I started. And then I went into engineering, which is really, for the first time, I moved out of my, I would say, cozy home to a college in Coimbatore, which is one of the top engineering colleges called PSG Tech. And that's really where I learned life lessons more than engineering, right? So
Yeah.
therefore, that's really what I learned, which is about how do you deal with people, how do you ensure that you work on problems, how do you really solve problems that you have never encountered.
Hmm,
That's something that I think I learned out of my engineering days. But one thing that I engineering left me with was how do you really apply all this to real life? Okay. That's really something that I was struggling with, and practical applications of how do you do it was really something that I was searching for as I graduated. Okay. uh, I would say I was just about an average student. So I was not this brilliant student, and people keep saying that you got to be a topper and things like that. I was never one.
hmm,
Okay. So then I did my management, which is specialization in marketing.
Yeah.
out of Anna University. And that's where I learned the art of strategic thinking, critical thinking, how do you really communicate, and the soft skills that are required is really what management taught me. And that's when I think I picked up I would say, my ikigai, okay, which is really, marketing.
Mm,
So that's really where I said, hey, this sounds like an interesting area. And here was an engineer who basically was interested in marketing. And that's when I went out and, made it I would say, my profession. Okay. I normally keep telling people that there is a difference between a job and a career.
mm,
Okay. A job is basically you go work for a company, you decide to do something, and you keep changing jobs.
mm,
But career is about actually investing in something. You may not know whether you will succeed in it or not, but you keep investing in it. And career is about looking at the long term and preparing for it, right?
mm,
So that's really what I think I was able to, I would say, discover. Let me
mm,
put it that way. Okay.
mm,
So I went in and, after my initial days in Crompton Greaves, I then went and joined advertising.
mm.
Uh, So
Quite
here
a
was,
change, I must say. Crompton
yes,
Greaves to advertising. I mean, who would have thought?
yeah, so true. And so advertising was where I was taught to solve problems. And the most interesting thing for me was, uh, I would say, meeting CEOs, meeting top management, and as somebody with a year of experience or two
Mm,
years of experience,
mm,
I had to go and present to top management.
mm.
Okay, which never happens in a person's life.
Yeah,
But clearly, what it taught me was really breaking down a problem,
yeah.
articulating it in the manner that you put it succinctly to the management, and then saying that this is the solution to the business problem,
Mm,
and how do you creatively then solve the problem,
yeah.
which was really something that I think I learned as a part of my early days in advertising. And one interesting thing happened, Subodh, was as I was doing this, I got a call from another advertising agency, and the person, actually, the boss, I remember his name still, Nitin Gupta, and he came and said, Swami, why don't you go out and join me? And, I want you to open a branch in Bangalore. So I said, I'm 2 years into the business, and I don't even have the experience. What would I go out and do? Okay. He said, no, no, you just go. So I resigned. I moved to Bangalore, and then I called him to say, now I'm in Bangalore. What do I do? He said, go get clients. Okay. So I said, but how do I get clients? What do I tell? What do I tell? Who should I meet? He said, that's your job, man. Okay, I've hired you, and you figure out. Okay. Okay. So I wasn't given a requirement. I was not told that you do this. I was not, nobody was hand holding me. Then I got my, first client, and literally I had to go to, meet the CEO of Novo Nordisk. Okay. Which is my first client, which is really now, I think, getting a lot of attention for, the weight loss drug that's actually getting all the attention, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
uh, the CEO was there, Dr. Anil Kapoor. He was one of India's top diabetologists. So I had to learn everything about diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I didn't know what was diabetes at that time, but I was told that India is going to become the world capital for diabetes.
Yes.
Okay. So that was in the year 1992, 93.
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
So I had to learn that. I had to go back and convince him why I think he should
mm,
hire me as a agency.
mm,
Okay. A lot of stress in terms of understanding a new industry. How do you understand a new industry? What are the problems that they face?
mm,
I had a client in Sanjeev Sishu, who was the marketing director, who had a fantastic strategic vision, and I
mm,
had to work with him. And after that, I tell people today that when you are actually graduating, and joining a job, uh, look for a company where there is no job description.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Literally, you need to actually one day you have to be in the production floor, next day you have to be in marketing, third day you have to be in delivery, fourth day you have to be in customer service, and therefore, if you don't have a job description, pick up that job because uh, because that job gives you what I call as 10 years of work experience in two.
Yeah. Can I
Okay,
just stop you here for a second? The job
sure.
description, I understand what you're saying, and my job description is in this situation is very simple. Do what your boss wants you to do.
Yeah,
This is like Nitin told you, I've told you to go out and get clients. That's it. Whatever you have to do, you will have to do. And of course, it's well known that in the automobile line in Toyota and Honda, you don't become a tire guy or a steering guy or some. You have to do whatever you have to do, right? And they're interchangeable, so that yes, you're still working on the assembly line, but you are rotated among various things and so on. So yes, you actually, if you want to be productive, you cannot be so narrowly typecast,
exactly. And if you're typecast too early in your career,
right?
then what happens is you get stuck when you
Yeah,
get old.
yeah,
Okay. And that's something that I was taught.
good.
Uh, s- so clearly, that's where the whole career of mine started to really blossom. And a lot of people used to ask me, saying that, how do you uh, really work so hard, and what's really your drive? And I keep telling people that uh, if you actually have pick up something passionate, then there's nothing called work. Okay.
Yeah,
You basically find the energy to do it, and that I found because I could see it in my in my household, where I had this interesting experience where when I was leaving for Mumbai, that's really where I've spent most of my life today.
yeah,
Okay. And my dad is still alive, he's 90. Okay.
wow,
And so I asked him a piece of advice, and then he told me that, when he was, so he's got about 80 years of work experience.
mm,
Okay. People today talk about 30 years of work experience, 25 years of work experience.
yeah,
He's got 80 years of actually mastering the craft.
yeah,
Okay. And he had an interesting perspective. And he said, Swami, in my business, uh, if you are mediocre, you will not get your next concert.
yes,
Okay. In your business, you may not know you are mediocre, but you will still be getting salary.
right,
Okay. And suddenly one day you will be told that you are not, you are not ready, or, you're not ready for
yeah,
the next position or role. Therefore,
yeah,
don't be, don't be mediocre.
yeah,
Okay. That's an advice that I picked up. The second thing he told me was, uh, he said, I actually prepared a lot when actually it was not needed,
yeah,
but I actually practiced and prepared so much
yeah,
that you really had to be the best in what you do to even have a breakthrough in a profession
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right?
okay, yeah,
So clearly he said, I used to get 5 rupees for a concert, 10
yeah,
rupees for a concert. Okay. And
yeah,
here I'm an expert. And I had to play as if I got 500 to get next 5 rupees.
right,
Okay. In
yeah,
your profession, when you are an engineer, MBA, you get a lot of money.
yeah,
Okay. And actually deliver when I deliver more. Okay. Don't always keep saying that, uh, am I supposed to only do so much, but actually look at it. So he said, when I got
mm,
500, I had to play as if I got 5,000.
yeah,
Okay. When I got 5,000, I had to play as if I got 50,000.
mm,
Okay. When I started getting 50,000, I have to
mm,
play as if I got 5 lakhs.
mm,
Okay. That's
yeah,
the amount of value I have to give back to my
yeah,
audience.
yeah,
Okay. So that's a learning that I took back.
yeah,
And so therefore, I would say, all these years,
Yeah.
I've been doing things which I really love
Hmm.
and I've been passionate about, and that has enabled me take my, uh, I would say, learning expertise. Every level I have tried to, every 5 years I've tried to disrupt myself.
Hmm.
Okay, and that's kept me in good stead in terms of my
Hmm.
own expertise and
Hmm.
my own
Hmm.
demand. Okay, in terms of what my clients expect and what I
Hmm.
should be, how should I be
Hmm.
ready for the market.
Hmm.
That's something that I did. The other thing that I think I also did, which uh, I do it even today, is I said I'll spend 1% of whatever I earn in my own training. I don't really care if the organization trains me.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Hmm.
therefore, I put all the money till today in my own training because I believe, these are the things that I need to be ready for. And therefore, I always tell people that, uh, train yourself. Don't expect the organization to be,
Hmm.
doing it, because if you don't have a roadmap,
Hmm.
organization will not have a roadmap for you.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So that's something that I really practice
Hmm.
and do it even today.
Hmm.
That's something that I thought was a learning and a lesson that I picked up.
Hmm.
And then as I was doing this, especially marketing was actually there was a changing phase in the 2000s when internet really started picking up, and marketing was increasingly becoming digital. What was
Right.
radio and TV and stuff like that, it was becoming more digital.
Yeah.
And that's when Google
Yeah.
came in today. Google is is one of the giants of digital marketing. And
Right.
that's when I decided that marketing is increasingly becoming data driven. I need to
Yeah.
be I need to understand technology.
Hmm.
And that's when I moved and set up my own analytics and martech company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Where I worked on what I call as creative plus technology. So therefore, I
Hmm.
always tell people that you need imagination and action.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Therefore, how do you bring process to imagination?
Hmm.
Okay. Is really what I think the marketing and technology taught me.
Hmm.
Work with large organizations,
Hmm.
huge learnings as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Okay. Where literally, I had to really, I would say, uh, work my way through. Okay. Sometimes I keep telling people that entrepreneurship may sound interesting, but
Hmm.
the treadmill that you have to go through, okay, is something that, do you have the resilience to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's really what I
Hmm.
think entrepreneurship taught me.
Hmm.
I sold my, Martech and analytics company, exited in 2020, 2021, and then
Hmm.
I set up Counterminds Labs,
Yeah.
which is the current company that you spoke about. And one of the things that I do in Counterminds is I picked up all the learnings that I've done over the last 2 decades, and I've actually said, if you want to build your craft, you need to be a Countermind. Okay,
Yeah.
you just can't have, you can't follow the herd. Okay, which
Right.
is I just do a college, then I go to a job, then I do this. That's not how expertise is built. So today I do a lot of conversations with global guys who actually have teach me what does it take to master your craft and professional excellence. That's what
Okay.
Countermind does. I have Countermind Ventures, which is into angel investing, and I also have a leadership transformation company. I keep telling people that to be extraordinary, you got to put extraordinary effort,
Okay.
and that's really what my story has been over the last few decades.
It's a fascinating story, I tell you. It is just very amazing because as you noted at the beginning, I've talked to many people, senior people also. I've heard them. But this is one of the most fascinating stories because I have not dealt so much with corporate type people. I mean, in marketing people so much. And I'm glad I heard you saying these things, partly because what you're saying reflects my own choices. So you said jobs. I haven't had a job since 1988. I just have work, right? And
Mm.
the work changes and keeps going. And for me, it's like your father. I'm only as good as my last job.
Yeah.
I don't have a salary at all. In fact, I turned down job offers. I said, look, I can't have a job. Okay, I have to be myself. Okay, so it has a lot of things that resonate with me, but this is not about me. So, what are your tips for young people?
Uh, See, rather than say tips for young people, I would say uh, I had an interesting conversation. I heard an interesting conversation with uh, the ex RBI governor,
Yeah,
okay, Rangarajan,
yeah,
okay. And in one of the podcasts, he said a very interesting thing because normally when you hear things, they say find your passion and work.
yeah,
Okay, is
yeah,
the normal story that you hear.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so here what Rangarajan said was an interesting thing. He said I joined IAS and I thought I'm going to serve the country. Okay, and then I was actually I became a collector and a secretary under NT Ramarao.
Hmm.
He was the chief minister, and then one day he called me and said, you're now responsible for this project to sell liquor, to
Yeah,
manufacture liquor and sell liquor because we're going to earn excise revenue.
yeah.
Okay. So he said I was actually deeply dissatisfied that did I do all of this, my IIT and IAS to do this, and then I said, okay, let me give it my best shot, okay, and he said I did that, and my one piece of advice he said to people is, any work that you take, do it passionately.
Okay,
Okay. So therefore, that is one piece of advice that I thought was very different from
okay,
actually find passion and work. The other way to look at it is any work that's given to you, do it passionately because you don't know where you will end up. He ended up being the RBI governor, right?
okay. Can I just interrupt you there? Are you talking
Yeah,
about Rangarajan or Subbarao?
I think it's Subbarao.
I think it's Subbarao because Rangarajan is an economist.
Okay, okay.
Okay, and he was not in the IAS. Subbarao was in the IAS. I think you're talking about Subbarao. I think
Subbarao.
Rangarajan is now perhaps too old to be doing these things.
Mm.
Subbarao, right? So he was, and he's recently been very active in
Yeah, he's
introducing.
at yeah, he's at Yale, I think.
Yeah,
So
so it's Subbarao that you are talking about, right?
perfect, perfect. I
Right,
think
right.
I may be wrong. I may have interview,
No,
it'll be Subbarao.
because I know Rangarajan's background. I don't know him personally, but I
Okay.
know he got his MA in economics from
Mm.
Jaipur. So I do know that.
Perfect.
Okay. So
So that's one
anyway,
thing.
yeah, the advice is very important. Okay, so please continue with that.
Yeah. So any work that is given to you, do it passionately first. That's
Yeah,
one. The second one is uh, pick up a job which uh, can give you 10 years of work experience in two. Typically, you will say, oh, you know
yeah,
what, go join JP Morgan, go join Goldman Sachs, go. I'm sure, they are high paying jobs. Okay. But I think today's career, I think the longevity of your career is going to be more longer than the company.
yeah,
Okay. So I actually did read a research with S&P 500.
yeah,
I think the average tenure or the life of a company was around 65 years, and by
yeah,
2030 it's going to become almost 15 to 18 years.
yes,
And therefore, I think more and more the traditional industrialized world kind of a job is going to vanish.
yeah,
And actually, you have to now actually be an expert.
yes,
And that is something that is going to become critical because your professional career is going to be longer than the life of a company,
yeah,
right? So therefore, I think that is something that I think will be one of the tips to say, pick up a job where you can learn a lot. Okay. And I would actually say uh, effort and results are non-linear in a career.
Could
Okay.
you explain that?
Typically, what people say is that I put so much of effort this year. Have I got a promotion? Okay. Have I actually got an increment? Okay. But what I find is with experts and with somebody who's actually really pursuing building craft and building expertise, they put inordinate effort in the early years. Okay. And the efforts that they get is fairly, you know, uh, after a long time, right? So therefore, typically, if you are a young person, look for, places and be ready to put your effort, but the outcome is non-linear, which is it will come in, long after your effort that you have put in, and you have to be ready for that. You can't actually say, here is my input, where is the output,
Okay.
right? That's really what I think is. So therefore, that's really one piece of advice that I really have. And the third thing is take risks at an early age.
Hmm.
Okay. uh, the more risks that you take, I think B makes you uncomfortable.
Hmm.
And when you actually operate out of your comfort zone, the learning is a lot more,
Hmm.
right? And your parents may want you to be in a comfort zone,
Hmm.
okay? But if you are in a zone where you're uncomfortable, then I
Hmm.
think the learning is far, far better.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I think these are some of the things, and my belief more and more has been that uh, you have to have interdisciplinary knowledge.
Hmm.
Okay, so it's not that uh, the person who actually did AI was not a computer scientist.
Right.
Okay. So therefore, US is a melting pot of this kind of an interdisciplinary thinking,
Hmm.
where I think you need to have biology and chemistry knowledge. You need to have engineering and probably
Right.
economist kind of a knowledge.
Right.
Okay. I
Right.
think the interdisciplinary knowledge is something is not taught to the Indian kids.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very, very important thing
Yeah.
which you have to be ready for. So, in fact, you may want to learn philosophy and engineering. Today, for example, Silicon Valley is looking for engineers with philosophy background.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Right.
And by the
So,
way, how
yeah.
did the British train their people who were going out to run the empire?
No.
They taught them Latin.
Yeah.
They said, if you can master Latin, you can run an empire. Please,
Mm,
let's not get mixed up.
mm,
So, like Nitin said, they said, if I'm here, what do I do? So they said, don't ask, do it.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And there is this incident, the Latin that there was one British army officer in India who wanted to capture Sindh,
Mm,
right? But the people in London would say no.
mm,
Right? This is not right. Anyway, he went ahead on the quiet and he occupied Sindh.
mm,
And then he sent a one-word telegram to London in Latin, Peccavi, Peccavi,
mm,
which in
mm.
Latin means I have sinned, Sinned. So they said, okay, fine, you know Latin now, go and capture Sindh on your own without telling. So they understood, okay, that this guy is punning in Latin
Mm,
to tell us what he has achieved on the ground. So I agree, this was the training is what is needed of the mind. And
yeah,
when people ask me what's the point of getting a bachelor's degree, and these days I say it's your way to learn how to learn on your own.
exactly.
Okay. What they teach you is kind of not so material,
Yeah.
but it's a time when you, as you said, Coimbatore changed you. Uh,
Mm,
you learned more things outside the class than in the class. It's a
yeah.
place where you learn to learn on your own, where you learn to learn from your friends, you learn to learn from social contacts and so on. So that's college in today's world. because
Yeah.
as you said the company will go. I would say the knowledge, the technology on which the company is relying will go in 15 to 18 years.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you rely on that technology and that company relies on that technology, then that's there. Anyway, I think it's been a very interesting conversation. I'm glad that you talked so openly and informally and told us about your family and so on. Today's generation won't have any clue of what that was like. So I'm
Mhm.
glad you told us that. Is there anything else you want to add?
Uh, See, I would say that there's a lot of discussion around, you know, work-life balance today. Okay. And when I look at master craftsmen, I'm just now reading a book on Edison. Okay. And I go back to he was born in 1847, and, he went on to, discover many things. The
Yeah,
Edison labs was a big thing. And what I realize is there's a bit of, I would say, maverickness,
yes,
okay, in what he was doing. And therefore, I always tell people that when you look at these master craftsmen who are experts in what they do, okay, I think there's a lot of, I would say, effort and intensity in what they do.
yeah,
Okay, so build intensity in in what you're doing.
yeah,
Don't do it just because it's a job.
yeah,
It's something that I think I've learned the hard way. And the other thing is, uh, the way I learned also was, I started teaching.
yeah,
I was very young. Okay. So I used to go to the IIMs, and I actually had a relationship with my prof to actually say that, hey, can I come and teach in your class? And that is something that I did. And as I taught, I actually understood many concepts which I didn't understand.
mm,
Okay. So that actually made me a much better leader.
mm,
Okay. So therefore, I tell people that always, as you do your work, also spend some time teaching, because that helps you clarify many things that
mm,
you probably had no, clue about. So
mm,
therefore, I was actually uh, lucky to have a partnership with my professor,
mm.
and we continued to write articles. I continued to teach in his class. And and then what I did was, actually got my team to also go in and teach in those classes.
Okay,
So I think the other thing is, they then got a purpose of why they were actually working.
okay,
It is not just the job, it's not just the money, but
yeah,
there was a certain sense of purpose that was there. So therefore, I would say, uh, as much as you do your work, also find ways and means of, uh, you know, doing this kind of work, because that actually has an indirect, effect on
mm,
actually you becoming a better professional and a better leader. And the story that I always give people is that, would you go to a mediocre doctor?
yes,
Okay. You always want to go to the best lawyer. You also
correct,
all want to go to the best,
right,
doctor. And therefore, if you want to be an employee, you know your longevity in your career is actually the shortest. But if you actually want to be a professional, actually you're going to have a longevity far greater than the typical work
yeah,
tenure that the industrial world has set up. And we are moving to a world where I think you're going to actually be working for long, and therefore it's critical to actually build these kinds of capabilities.
okay. Well, that's very good. Uh, I usually ask people for the final word at this time, but you've already said a lot, but in case you have a final word, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I think the final word for me is, when when you really look at work as a craft, then there is a certain, uh, I would say, that there's a certain effort that you put in, and
Mm,
that effort is not
mm,
uh, just because you're getting paid for it. I think money is a uh, uh, downstream benefit that you get.
Mm, mm, mm.
And today I tell people that the effort that the compounded effect of my learning and effort is actually giving me the return today.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So for you, the initial effort is an investment which has
Yeah,
a long run stream of payment, not a short run stream. But if you invest when you are 20 in yourself, then you will get the returns for all your age, like your father. He, the riyas they have to do when they are 5 and 6,
yeah,
that's what pays off. Because if you don't do that,
absolutely.
what is the return when you are 7 years old and work practicing 6 hours? And as you told us, he would practice when it was not necessary to practice.
Exactly. And and
Exactly.
and and therefore I tell people that he has actually inverted the economic theory.
Yeah,
Even at even at 90, he doesn't need a retirement fund.
right.
Okay. Because he still plays, and people pay him for his concerts, and
Mm.
he's traveling and he's doing that. So almost saying that, you know, and every year, every couple of years, he has to adapt himself to
Of
the
course.
new world.
Yes.
Okay. So what happened in the 40s and 50s is not relevant in the 24.
Right.
Therefore, the fact that he's still earning.
Right.
Okay, is a phenomenal learning for many of us in our careers.
Okay.
Okay, where if you do that, then there's a huge benefit that you get, and that's really what. And I always tell them that, hey, your dad doesn't look 90. He says when your passion and work is the same, you don't age.
Okay. All right, that's great, Swami. That's very helpful. It's a great thing. Let's end it here today. In recording time, I want to talk to you offline quite a bit, but for the moment, let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person, unless you want to add something more.
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me, and lovely
Okay.
talking to you
All
both.
right, so let's end it here. Stay online. I'll talk to you. Don't go away. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Bye bye, everybody.